Afternoon. Welcome to Remote Work Wednesday. On behalf of the K-State Extension Community Vitality Team, we're glad to have you with us or viewing online. I'm Ron Wilson, Director of the Huck Boyd Institute for Rural Development, part of the K-State Extension Community Vitality Team. Appreciate all the members of our K-State Extension Community Vitality program group. The K-State Extension Community Vitality Team has long been interested in the implications of remote and hybrid work for our citizens and our communities. And this free Zoom call on the second Wednesday of each month is to learn about the opportunities and challenges of remote work. Today, we have someone who's experienced remote work firsthand for many years. He's an Iraq veteran. For a number of years, ran the Tech Access program for the Kansas City Public Library. I'm delighted he is now working in North Central Kansas as the Digital Ambassador Program Manager for the Central Kansas District of K-State Extension. Chuck Dionne is also a longtime and continuing IT Service Center manager working remotely to help workers for a number of rural telecom companies. And his topic today is Off-Site, Not Off-Track. Love that title. Chuck, please share your experience with us in remote work.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chuck Dionne. I have a long commute to work. My commute to work when I wake up in the morning time is 22 steps, roughly 14 seconds. It's from my bedroom to the coffee pot to my desk. But I had to work for the present company I work for now. As a full-time job, present company is ISPN. We're a internet service provider company. We provide help desk and network operations command centers information and assistance. I worked in the office for 13 years full-time in the office. My office is in Lenexa, Kansas. And throughout that entire time, I endured COVID. During COVID, everyone got to work from home. But me, I had to go to the office still. They needed a body in the office. So for the year and a half that we were out of COVID, I had to work from the office itself. I had the entire office to myself, which was fantastic because I got to do anything I wanted, mostly just work. But I got to blare music as loud as I wanted to. So what it was old routine. Get up, drive to work, get up, get dressed, drive to work. I had saved a ton of money after finding out that I was going to work from home. A lot of things that triggered the switch. Why was the sudden change? Well, my wife wanted to move closer to her family, and her family lives in Lincoln, and as well as Minneapolis. So we decided to change to move there. Made sure it was okay with my company, and I then became a Minneapolisan. So it was a different change for me. I'm a big city person. I've lived in LA, San Francisco, Kansas City, and sudden change to Minneapolis.
And Chuck, if I can interrupt, just to be clear, that's Minneapolis, Kansas,
Minneapolis,
and
Kansas,
Lincoln, Kansas, not
Lincoln, Kansas,
Minnesota or Nebraska.
Yes. So they're within 30-minute drive from me. My sister-in-law just lives on the outskirts of Minneapolis, Kansas, and Delphus, and my in-laws live in Lincoln Center. They call it Shady Bend, Kansas. So it was a big change for me, and I needed to acclimate. So with the help of one of the providers that we provide support for, a great company, it's called Twin Valley. I found out that Twin Valley has gigabit internet inside Minneapolis. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can actually work as I worked in Kansas City, but from my home office. It was fantastic. And I loved it. Um, so setting the scene, um, being in the office, I was able to have office lunches. Got to see, I got to see the president every day, the CEO, the COO, the senior vice president, senior team, senior management team, all the time. Then it just became solace, just by myself. Um, there's a lot of perks of working from home. Um, for me, it was saving money. Gas math is what some people call it. It was 12.6 miles one way trip, 25 miles a day. Um, it's like 504 miles a month. So I was saving roughly $820 a year now just from working at home. Um, I say that before something else came up during this whole time this past year. Um, I have my own kitchen. Kitchen is just 10 steps away. I could drink as much coffee as I want. I can make as much many soda because I make Soda Stream. I don't buy soda. Um, and um, I have two dogs underneath my desk that require some love and attention. So that's my de-stressors right there. I do get time back. I get to have more family time. Um, I get to have more me time. Um, uh, I get to have my own chair, my own computer. I get to do anything I want, have my own PC. I have four screens out here in front of me right now. In the office, I only had two. Um, fewer interruptions. I think the only interruptions I really get is when I have to take my break and my dog need to be let out to go to the bathroom. Um, uh, great environmental control. I say environmental control, but it's presently 80 degrees inside my office right now. It's pretty warm. Um, we're still trying to figure that out. Um, we're thinking about having to get myself a window unit because our two AC units is not keeping up. Um, but also the flexibility of working. Um, I have the ability to do a lot more than I did before. When I was working in the office, I was working 8 to 10 hour days. Um, it was somewhat of a mental drain. Here I work 8 to 10 still, sometimes 14 to 16, but that's because my company deems it necessary. That's one of the downsides. Say like one of the downsides mostly is isolation, um, missing the actual human interactions. Uh, human interactions is needed for mental stress. Um, we have a thing, we have a medium uh, system called Slack. That's where you can, it's almost like Teams where you could send messages to people and within the office itself. I'm virtual, so we have to use this Slack. And in Slack, it has a feature called Huddle. Um, I get to huddle with my team. That's a perk. I get to huddle with the other supervisor staff team or the other team lead managers. I love that. That's a perk. But sometimes it just turns into a griping session. And you don't want to be in there. Then you just rather be isolated again. But um, a lot of a lot of things also on the downside. Blurred lines. Um, the office can be 22 steps away, but it really means that I'm just closed off to the world itself. Um, missing little stuff, hallway talks, break room cakes. Um, my company caters in twice a month. Uh, gas. So the only thing I have in Minneapolis, and I'm not downplaying any of this, um, Papa's Burger Mill. They serve great burgers. Um, the Mexican restaurant here. fajitas in Minneapolis, and then Casey's gas station, which has a lot of the stuff that I like. Um, and there's a lot of self-discipline that it has to come into it. Before, I just had the discipline of being in the office. Here, I have to make sure every minute is counted for, and that I'm doing my due diligence of making sure my team's metrics are all there. Um, I'm making sure that my metrics as a manager for my team is there. I have to make sure that the call center is running well. But there's instances where there's somewhat of a physical trade-off. Um, it's easier to never leave the house. The office, it was just least forced some walking. I don't get to walk that much during the daytime other than when I take my dogs out. Um, but um, there's a lot of perks to it. Um, I found this, and when you work from home, you don't have to really travel much. Um, and one of the big perks is that I needed to find something to do with my time because I had extra time, and uh, and so someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you. Wondering if you could take it." And I just have to say, this is just a little shout out to the, the family out here, extension, the CKD extension, Cade being one of them, uh, offered me a part-time job as being a digital ambassador, which I love a lot. And it's fantastic. And I get to meet more people and help people. And the solitude part, being isolated, doesn't happen that much anymore. Because I have a part-time job and I get to go see people and talk to people and help them with digital literacy. Um, but uh, moving into a situation where I'm by myself, and I can't say that right now. I have my son and a couple nieces upstairs right now. Um, they're playing video games, but the isolation of just being in here, no one to talk to, at times where I don't have Slack or there's no huddle going on, it 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 wears down on you. Um, but uh, you make your work go how you want it, how you seem the flow to be. One of it is that, um, like a uh, I have a separate TV literally behind me playing music, and so just so I can just not keep my mindset directly just on focusing on my workday. Um, I I have oils, human, I forgot what it's called, diffuser right now. Um, and I couldn't do that in the office. I couldn't play music, louder music in the office when everyone's back in the office. So um, the big thing is just that uh, what does my work see me as I'm working here? It's not office is better or remote is better. I love if I still lived in Kansas City, I would still be working in the office because I love working in the office. Um, both have good trade value. Um, uh, like my my manager told me, I've seen your performance jump 100% since you worked from home. I just let him know that I'm more focused at home. There's no distractions around. Before I was getting so distracted. Now I'm just focused on this. Um, I've had to set uh, hard stop limits uh, for meetings or for doing setting up. We do a lot of AI, so I have to set up AI reporting. Um, Sometimes I have to force myself to get dressed into like a polo, and that's another hard trade-off too. It's because who doesn't like business on top and pajama bottoms on the bottom. I do that often. Uh, it's a great trade-off. I like it very much, and I will keep on doing it. 13 years was learn how to work from an office. One life change to work in slippers and work a little bit longer on items that I need. Company gives me the latitude. Also, a company gives me latitude to do a lot less work and do stuff for my extension job. Um, it's it's a fantastic way of life. I know that you might have questions about how does it feel from my perspective being full time at home, or when I say full time at home, I'm sorry, it's kind of hybrid by a little bit. Um, I do have to go to the office every quarter, one day. So the company does foot the bill for a hotel for us to drive in, sleep, then go to work the next day. Then I just drive home, and it's Kansas City, so it's 3 hours away. Um, it's okay. It's fun. Um, I get to see my coworkers again, if not on our team meetings, but I have team meetings all the time. Today I worked from 4 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. this morning for work, and I had 12 teams meetings, individual one-on-one metric meetings with 12 individual techs on my team. So I get to see them, but only on a screen. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's not. I would rather have person-to-person interaction so I can see their body language. It's kind of hard because I only see from their shoulders up. So, um, lots of perks, a lot of downsides. Um, I appreciate all the people that have given me valuable lessons. I've learned from a lot of our techs. 89% of our work um, force at ISPN are at home. We only have 32 people working in the office. In our office itself, we have two offices, one in Georgia, one in Georgia, Cary, North Carolina, and then Lenexa. Only, I think it was like 57 people work in the office, and we have over 500 employees. So a lot of us are throughout Cary and Georgia, South Carolina, um, Kansas City, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas. We're all spread out, and I've learned from some of my coworkers that I command or manage, and some de-stressors or things to brighten my mood. And uh, sometimes those brighten the mood things are pillow screams, but those are pretty fun. Um, I don't really have to pillow scream that much. Um, I just I have a punching bag downstairs, so which my son gets to use now. But a lot of it was this actually doing this was kind of it was unnerving a little bit. Uh, I like to speak, but I like to speak to people that I mainly know, and I only know two in here, and one of them's heard me speak maybe a little too much. Um, but I appreciate everything that the Kansas Extension Office has done for me, and everyone that's out here that's done so much for me. And it's been fantastic, and I appreciate you guys letting me talk a little bit. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions. Um, I'll just open up to the floor if anyone has any questions.
Chuck, thank you for a really balanced view that encompasses all the pluses and minuses of remote work. Very, very interesting. I find it remarkable that 89% of your of your tech support company are distributed. Uh, that's uh, that's amazing. And I love the title "Off-Site but Off Track." Now you're off-site, but keeping things on track. Is
Hmm.
it the metrics? Is it the huddles? What are the tools you think are most valuable for keeping things on track
So
with you and your team?
pretty much right now we utilize a lot of we have collaborative software that we use. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. We have a collaborative program called Asana. Asana does allows us to build projects within a domain, then we can share it out to other people. Say, like I share it out to my team, and I have a certain tasks for each one's for certain levels of employees on my team. I have a program called TAPS, which that's Technicians Assistance Programs. It helps the techs that don't have the greatest metrics for call times or tickets. And I have a level 3 tech that's on my team. Reach out to them and work with them 1 hour or 2 hours every week. Um, that project is in my Sauna project. I have tasks set for me daily. Every morning when I wake up from for 2 hours, I jump on tech reports. I jump on metrics. I look at QC scores, and I build out a report and I submit it to my management team. Um, but Asana helps with those daily tasks. I can't say that I don't have post-it notes on my PC because I have post-it notes on my PC a lot. Um, I thusly cleared them off just for the meeting, just in case that actually my camera fell down by accident. And you guys saw the amount of sticky notes. Um, I normally have like 40 to 50 sticky notes, either on my wall or on my PC. Um, I try to keep it clean, but if you ever saw my desktop right now, of how many files and programs are on my desktop right now, um, my 41-inch screen, you could barely see my truck in the background because there's just everything on there. Uh, I don't know filing system, so but that's about it. Asana helps us. It's a great project program, collaborative software.
Very good. Well, it works for you, and that's the important thing. If there are questions, feel free to unmute and ask, or post them in the chat. You said you make your workflow, and that strikes me. Uh, you don't have a supervisor looking over your shoulder in person all the time, but you do have metrics to
I follow
be
metrics
accountable
too.
for.
It's very. We have tasks that we have to do daily. We actually have a chart called daily task schedule manager, and during a certain time hour, I'm supposed to be doing something. Um, with that being said, sometimes that gets skewed a little bit because we have to do other things. We have to do stuff for our teams. Um, but I make the workflow. I design. I I still have a channel that we have to relay information to our manager, saying, "Hey, by the way, I'm not doing this duty right here, but I'm doing this. I'll get back to this as soon as I can. This takes a little bit of precedence, and um, if I'm not, if he hasn't heard back from me in an hour, he's like, "Hey, how's that going?" He always checks in. He's very personable and very on time. He's wanting to make sure that we're making sure that we're doing what we're doing. So uh, I do make how my schedule goes, but if I'm not doing my task at hand, I still have a manager that I have to be accountable for. So I'm accountable for everyone on my team. I'm accountable for myself. Working from home, it's kind of hard. You just want to turn away, and look for something else to do. Because I am at home. This is the computer I game on. This is also the computer that I work on. So, or I watch YouTube videos on a lot.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big things.
Well, one of the biggest takeaways I got from the remote training that I took early on was over communication is just communication, and um, that can be a little bit of a misnomer. I don't want that misinterpreted, but letting your boss know that, hey, something has come up that takes precedence, and just a little bit of time to keep them informed about that, uh, I think makes a big difference. Um, but one other thing I did want to ask you about, and you mentioned these stressors a time or two, um, and we have you can really focus in that home office. You don't have the office distractions, but then the risk of maybe being in position too long, staring at those screens. Any other
Correct.
advice you'd have for us about
One
de-stressing?
one of the things is that I have a thing called 30 and 1, looking at the screen for 30 minutes and then possibly just looking off the screen for 1 minute. Um, Not looking at my computer screens. Maybe looking down, petting my dogs, or get up, get a drink of water or get a drink, but breaking the scoping of the screen itself. That helps a lot. Um, I do have stress balls here at my desk, little toys to play with while I'm working. Um, I have I have other things at my desk, and this seems kind of funny and childish, but I have Pokemon cards on my desk that I look at all the time. I'm a huge fan of Pokemon and have been since 1999. But yeah, stressors, because some of the stressors are deadlines. Um, and I know about deadlines because I have another deadline coming up soon for work-related items, but not for the company I work for. So,
Yeah.
but deadlines, that's one of the bigger stressors, but I don't let it get to me too much. Where now I just try to just do what I can in a day, and if I don't fulfill it, just come back the next day and pick up where I left off.
Very, very good. Very good. And I'll tell you, we appreciate your terrific work with the Digital Ambassador Program. You stepped in midstream in a sense, and but what a well suited person you are to do this work. Let me see. I'm not seeing other questions in the chat. Um,
Maybe
haven't
Cade
heard.
passed out from the
Yeah,
blood.
he's muted. So if there was a loud thump when he hit the floor, we wouldn't have heard it. But oh, there's Kate unmuting.
You okay,
Yeah,
Cade?
no, I'm still here.
Okay.
Chuck, I appreciated your presentation. And I don't, we in extension at least don't have a lot of or very few remote workers. But like you said, back during the pandemic, we were all remote for some period of time. And
Hmm.
one of the things that you had mentioned was the amount of productivity and how much it increased. And, I think something like that for a traditional setting like extension where everybody's in the office all the time, um, it's somewhat hard to measure productivity because we don't necessarily have the metrics and that type of thing that you guys do. Um, and I know in working with other local unit directors, there was all this talk about accounting for time and having to measure every minute of every day and turn in weekly work reports and this and that. And from a director or a manager standpoint, that sounds almost overwhelming. And I guess what I'm asking is if you could just speak a little bit to the level of trust that your remote workers are given or have earned with the managers, so that all of that, what I would necessarily call micromanaging and making sure everybody's on task, doesn't need to play into it quite as much, as long as you feel like you have trustworthy employees that are task oriented or goal oriented and do the work they need to do, no matter what time of day or within whatever time frame.
I appreciate that. That's a really good question. There's a lot of micromanaging that goes on with my company. Um, we do have to trust them on what they're doing. and it's somewhat easier to say for what our techs do because they have to be on phone calls, answering phone calls on a consistent basis. And so we're trusting them that they're answering their phone calls. We and this sounds kind of weird, but the amount of metrics that we can see every click that happens within our help desk software. So if they're going to different calls, if they're putting in a ticket, we can see all of that. Um, there's a lot of metrics that's done. I have a report that's, I don't know, I think my last report was 10 megs. 10 meg report is quite extensive. I can show to a very second of how long a tech was on a call and what individual call it is and what provider it was and the CID from that location itself, um, and how the latency for a company. Do I have people I trust to be off cue to do things? I certainly do. And I wouldn't have, that's pretty much my entire team. Um, there's some stragglers sometimes that do things that shouldn't be done, but I keep them accountable so they tell me they did wrong. Um, and I have a little thing that's built into my Slack channel right now. It's texts that need to be out of queue, need to be away from their desk. They're left accountable to tell me what they're doing. I don't really look at it because I have just no reason to look at it. If they step away to go to the bathroom or they're going to get a drink of water, I really don't need to know that stuff. That's something I already have mentally pulled out for the day. I give them so they have their hour lunch and then the 2 15-minute breaks, but I also give them another hour to do whatever. Um, maybe that's a little bit more than I should, with especially with my company. They tend to only give people more than 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. I give them an extra hour because my team is pumping out numbers. I have the highest quality team metrically within the company right now because I don't micromanage. Once I have let them know, it feels like I'm micromanaging you, I want you to tell me. Because if you tell me that I'm micromanaging, I'm gonna back off. Because I'd rather see productivity and higher spirits than me just eyebrowing you down and just wondering what's going on and why you're not doing your job. Because you're not going to want to work for me because I would be a tyrant. Um, and that's what that, that's what I like about a lot of things that um, from this job and then also working for the extension and stuff. Um, I don't have to. I'm not micromanaged, um, and I'm somewhat micromanaged with my boss, but I'm quite used to it. I've been there for 13 years. I know what micromanaging is. Um, but it's a really good question. It's micromanaging kind of turns things against you, and it makes people resent you. I don't like doing that anymore. I did that once before with this company. I'm not going to do it again. We had a lot of people leave, not just from me, just from the company micromanaging. So I appreciate the question. It's a really, really good question.
That's a great question from Kate. And another term that I've heard in our circles is professional scheduling, which really means, I think, take care of business, do your job, and we're not going to micromanage every minute. You know, the computer isn't going to track where you are every second, but be a professional and accomplish your task in a professional way. And that's all we ask. And that actually allows, as you said, Chuck, I think, higher morale and higher productivity ultimately. And you know, it's really not the pay. I think it's often the job conditions that cause us to leave one position to go to another. And micromanaging can be one of those things that adversely affect office conditions, I think.
And it drives. I still to this day run gaming events inside gaming like contests inside my channel, inside my team channel. Uh, just because it can. We have something called loot, and we give them $5 here, $10 here, sometimes $25, and it stocks up, and our company then allows them to spend it on whatever we have there, like chairs and desks, computers and screens. So
Well, that's a
fantastic.
strategy that's a strategy for raising that morale. Very, very cool. Not seeing any other questions. Chuck, thanks for an excellent discussion today. We really, really appreciate your sharing your insights with us. I'm going to give you a virtual round of applause here, and
Thank you.
Appreciate your good work on this and with the Digital Ambassador Program. Thank you, and Kelly, thanks for being on. Appreciate you. Remote Work Wednesday has been our series as we've looked at the opportunities and challenges of remote work. We're going to wrap up our series with today's program, but recordings of today's program and all of our past Remote Work Wednesday programs can be found on the link that I posted in chat. So that will take you to the Extension Community Vitality website, and there is a link to find the past webinars and including today's, which we hope will be posted soon. But for now, thanks again, Chuck, and thanks to all of you, and we wish you a very happy and productive Remote Work Wednesday. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.